Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. First episode. I don't really know what to call it yet, but we're just gonna wing it. All right. I'm sick of not doing the podcast, so we can come up with a name later.
Yeah, we're already down a man.
Yeah. CJ's not here because his girl he's whipped as fuck. So, you know. I'm just kidding. If you're listening, Emma, I'm just kidding. But anyway, welcome to the podcast. Today's podcast is sponsored by mine and Casey's wallet because we broke his shit. So if there's any potential sponsors out there, you know. Dude, okay. One sponsor, okay. If you could get sponsored by anyone, by any company, what would your top company be?
Trojan would be a pretty funny one.
Trojan?
Yeah.
We don't
Trojan condoms.
we don't fuck enough for that though.
That's true.
I think like Raid Shadow Legends is the one that like that's how you know you've made it.
Yeah.
Like if you're sponsored by Raid, that like you are a legit competitor in the content game.
Yeah.
But like if I was to pick like a top sponsor over any, it's this company called For Hymns. You know what it is?
I think so. I've definitely heard of it.
I saw Bert and Tom get sponsored by them, and it's for it's for hair loss.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Cause you know your boy Iffy on the hairline game. Oh yeah, no, we fucked. We need a hair sponsor for sure.
Dude, my hair is always been thin. When I'm out in the sun and the wind's blowing, I got Trump hair, like Donald Trump hair.
Dude.
Like straight up, dude.
Dude, my hair was fine for like the longest time. Like I had good hair, like decent hair. But then like the past year, it's just been falling out. Like I'm gonna go bald by like 25 for sure. And honestly,
yeah,
if I get a good enough beard going, like I might just shave my head.
That's fair.
Like for the culture.
I can't grow a beard. Like you've seen it before. It just grows like down here, and then I got like a little piece right here.
You got the neck beard syndrome, dude. I rode that for a long fucking time.
Colton still rides it.
Oh my fucking! We don't need to go into Colton, bro. Holy shit, that man needs help.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, we're gonna go into Colton. So for those who don't know, we have a friend.
My brother. His
brother. He's not doing too good. To put it simply, you know when you got that friend that like they're on games every day, like you're with the boys, like you're all hanging out, and then they meet somebody and then they drop off the face of the earth. Now, that's not the only thing, but I'm not gonna get into that. But he just fucking leaves. And then he's like, oh man, I want to get back into games. I want to be with the boys. And then you don't hear from him for like a week.
Hell, even more. When was the last time he was in the Discord?
Dude, the last time I talked to him was when he didn't tell me that he moved back to Utah. I asked him like that he was in Utah again, and he fucking was like, yeah, I'm moving back. And that was the last time I talked to him.
That's better than what I got. I hear everything from my mom, dude. I don't even hear from my brother. Yeah.
Cat, he's F in chat for the homie.
Yeah.
But what's your sponsor though? Like you're like I really want this company. Like I would fuck with this company so hard Like I would do an ad read for free if I could just get some of the shit, you know?
Probably. What's this? Here, I don't know what their company name is. Is it just Taki? Probably like Takis, bro. I I eat them shits like by the bag full.
Dude, could you imagine getting sponsored by Takis? Like you'd have there's no way they wouldn't send you
Just
like shirts and like fucking like your whole bed would have just fucking Takis like logo on it.
my fingers would just be dyed red
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, you'd get like red tattooed on your fucking fingertips.
Yeah, I would be one of those ghetto girls from high school. Like the long fucking nails, always has a bag of Takis or hot Cheetos. Like doesn't do anything in gym class.
They were
Loud
always
as
like,
shit.
yeah, they were always eating them so fucking loud too. Like it was never
Mhm.
like discreet either.
Yeah. Like they just straight up didn't give a fuck.
Ugh. See, I'd want a For Him sponsorship, but if I'd like, if they were like, here, we're not gonna give you any money, but we're gonna give you like free product. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
Like, I don't know who I'd pick, cause I'm always for the money, bro. I need the bread.
Bro, you're the broke boy living a rich lifestyle or whatever it is.
Dude, I got expensive tastes, all right?
Yeah, I do too.
Damn. I wouldn't even know who to pick. Dude, honest to God, it would probably be body armor for sure.
See, you gave me a taste of that before, and I thought it was pretty good. But like I've never had it before then and since then.
It's so good. I drink that shit way too much. It literally gives me like electrolyte imbalance because I drink so much. Dude, tell me about that. I want to hear about that time because you're an EMT.
Yep.
I want to hear about the time you first found that dead body.
Okay.
Like, walk me through your day.
So, first things first, we have to follow HIPAA law or else I can get sued.
What's HIPAA law? I don't even know what that is.
So, I can't give out any information about anyone that I deal with that could identify them. So, I can't
Ooh.
say like around the area. I could give like general details like how old they might have been.
Okay, be vague.
Stuff like that.
Be vague as fuck, but I want to hear about it.
All right. So, I'm still a new EMT. I'm only like 2-3 months into it, and I was at the end of my ride-alongs, and the instructor came up to me, and he's like, "Hey, we need some shifts filled. I'm going to give you an easy shift. We're going to send you over to the airport." And it's like, okay, that shift is mostly like you sit in an office, watch TV. You may get like 1 or 2 calls a day, if that. But even when you get a call, it's either like someone fell down the escalator or they're having a heart attack. Like,
Who the fuck falls down escalator? Have you gotten a call like that?
You would be surprised.
Really? You've gotten?
I haven't, but apparently it's very fucking common.
I swear to God, as soon as someone enters an airport, like their brain just goes like full.
It goes sicko mode. Like,
Dude, yeah. Okay, continue.
So we go there. I meet my partner who is like a veteran there. He gives me like a quick tour of what places are called and stuff like that. And we go to the office. We sit down. We start watching Arrested Development. I've never seen the show before then, but it's pretty good.
I can't think of who's in that.
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway,
they're all actors I've never seen before then. So we go sit down, start watching, and then like 20 minutes in, we get a call for Here, I could pull up the actual code of what it was. Because I don't know all the codes yet.
Because from what you were telling me, like, this shit is not normal. Like, it's fucking wild.
Yeah. Let's see. God, I don't remember what the code was. I think it was like a 32 delta.
That
which
means
is
absolutely nothing to me.
it means dead person, and I think like A means like or alpha just means they just drop, and delta means like they've been dead a while.
Okay.
So we get up, we grab our stretcher and our
Did you know like were you new enough to where you didn't know what the code meant, or did you know what it
I still don't know what the codes mean.
So you didn't know what you were walking into?
No. So we get the code. My partner shoots up out of his chair and he's like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, "Wait, what's the call?" And he's like, "Obvious dead person. Let's go."
Obvious dead. What's the call for like an obvious or an inobvious dead person? Like, we don't know if he's dead or not.
It's I think that's like a 30.
So that's a thing. They're just like I don't know.
Which is basically just man down.
Man down.
So we get up, we grab our stretcher that we leave in the hall and our jump kit, which has like all of our medical supplies that we take on like city calls and stuff like that when we have to leave your ambulance.
What's in that thing?
It's got like a blood pressure cuff, stethoscope, bandages, some oxygen equipment, like just basic stuff.
Yeah, basic
stuff that you can use to help on scene before you transfer them.
Okay.
So we get that, we load up into the ambulance, and we drive down to the parking lot where they said it was. And we get there, we start pulling in, we got this couple who's waving us down, and we're like, okay, there they are. And we go up, we get out the ambulance, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, yeah, there's a dead guy in that car. Like we thought it was fake. Like we thought it was like a silicone body or some shit, like a mannequin.
They're just like, yeah, he's dead, and then you just walk in and it's a fucking mannequin.
Well, they thought it was fake, like when they first saw it, just because of how dead he was.
How do you?
I'll explain.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, and as I'm walking to the back of the ambulance to go grab our jump kit, I smell it.
Describe the smell.
Okay. So first things first. This is in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
In a heat wave. Like the biggest heat wave we've had in years.
Yeah. In a drought.
Yeah. It was like 102 for the like past week.
Yeah.
So it smelled like have you ever driven past the dump as they're churning it?
Yeah, it's fucking god awful.
Yeah, it was like that mixed with truck exhaust mixed with like freezer burn.
See, that's you told me
100.
You told me about the freezer burn. That is what weirds me out.
Yeah. Like, have you ever smell or taste freezer burn?
Yeah. I used to have like we had like what every middle class family has, a fucking big ass freezer in the garage.
Yeah.
And everything in there was freezer burnt to shit. So yeah. I know what that's what weirds me out, cuz you said that the body had been there for like at least 4 days. Like at the very least.
So like I've seen dead bodies before. Like I've been on like Live Leak and I've been to like viewings at funerals and stuff like that. This was nothing like that. Like
hold on.
This was so much more fucked up.
Hold on. I think okay. It's back. I'm retarded. Okay. Anyway, it had been there for like 4 days at least, right?
So we walked around the ambulance. I smell it and like, that's gross. Like, I've never smelled anything like this before. I've never smelt death. I've only seen death.
Yeah.
So I go grab our jump kit and I walk over to the driver's side window of the car that they said this guy was in. And this man, like, he was uber dead. Like, he was super fucking dead. I could see why they thought it was fake. Like, he was bloated. His skin literally looked like a Halloween mask, like, skin.
Jesus Christ.
It was like blotchy. You could see blood pooling at like the bottom of the limbs.
Oh my. Okay, less detail, please.
He had like T-Rex arms also because of rigor mortis.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
All right, so rigor mortis is when you die, your muscles like tense up and stuff, and they become really rigid. Rigor mortis. So
Okay.
like, your arms can literally like stay in place like this as you die. But it takes a little bit for that to take place, like a day to 2 days, and depending on how fast you're decomposing and stuff like that.
Jesus.
But what we think is that this guy died like this, and then his arms just drifted down to like that.
How the fuck do you die like this? Like, he just like, yeah, fuck it.
Because his seat was reclined too, so he might have been asleep. He might have been like choking or something like that. We don't know.
Just casually choking, I guess. You know, no big deal. Guess I'm gonna die, but no big deal. Like what the fuck?
He was a pretty big dude, so maybe it's a regular occurrence for him.
Okay, I eat like every fucking meal is a eating contest, and I've never choked on anything. Like I'm no fucking model, you know? Like,
yeah.
You have to try real hard.
Yeah. So we were the first people on scene too. So we got there, we checked it out.
Like there's no way that you try CPR on that.
No, there's no possible way.
There's no procedure that says like, oh, you have to resuscitate the victim okay, because that would be kind of bullshit.
Like we are allowed to pronounce death when it's very obvious. So rigor mortis, blood pooling at the bottom of the body, bloating, stuff like that.
So what does the report look like for that? Because don't you have to write reports for stuff?
Every single call we get that has a patient, we have to write a report. Even like if we get canceled and we don't see the patient, we still have to write a report saying that we got canceled. So that report is basically just describing what happened, like what I'm doing now. We got the call, we loaded up our stuff, we got there, they waved us down. I got out, I smelled it, I looked through the window, there he is. This is what he looked like. He's obviously dead. We did not try resuscitation. Fire showed up. PD showed up.
Wait, why does fire show up?
They show up with pretty much every call.
But
Because
why?
our ambulance company is not a part of the city fire department, and they have no ambulances or anything like that. So the city does not have any ambulances, so they go through our company. But places like they have their own ambulances in their fire departments. So we're like leased to city fire.
But why would they? I don't get it. Why does the fire department have to show up?
So a lot of people in the fire department are like medics, which are 2 levels higher than in EMT. So like it goes like a basic first responder, so like a police officer, someone who knows CPR, like civilians. Then it goes EMT, then advanced EMT, and then paramedic. And then you could go on to like nursing school and like physician's assistant and stuff like that. You could like EMT is basically like the bottom.
No wonder you get paid like shit.
Yeah, you make more than me making bagels. So
yeah, let's talk about that. So
Well,
How?
I'm not done with this story.
Okay, keep going.
So the fire department shows up, PD shows up, and some guys who show up at the airport show up, or who work at the airport show up. And the guy who works at the airport, he said, "Yeah, we looked at the cameras. This car's been parked here for 9 days." And we're like, "Are you fucking serious?"
They didn't do anything about it. Like,
Yeah, the guy, he was like, "Yeah, this parking lot is patrolled every night, and we're supposed to ticket and tow every car who stays here overnight. So I definitely have some questions for my employees."
yeah, there's no way the security guard is just like even after like the first night, like he had to have at least gone up to the car, right?
Yeah. But we later learned that the car has only been there for 3. I have no fucking clue where he got 9 days.
Okay.
But it smelled so rank, like even when we opened the door and stuff like that, that when fire got there, they had to get like some personal information about the guy. So they had to go through the glove compartment and get like the registration or look at his phone and stuff.
Didn't you say they had like hazmat suits on?
The guy who had to go in and go through the glove box, he put on a full on respirator mask. Like,
oh man.
But yeah, so then we were like, yeah, there's nothing we could do. We could go back to our post, and we went like 500 feet out of the parking lot and got Costa Vida. like the most like.
Imagine trying to eat after that.
Oh, we ate.
You're a fucking madman.
We had to have air fresheners everywhere. I can't smell pine air freshener without thinking of dead body anymore.
Dude, there is like very few things make me lose my appetite, but I feel like if I walked into that, like I couldn't eat for like 2 days.
I smelled it and like sort of tasted it for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You'll never forget it once you smell it. You'll never forget it.
I am so glad that I do not have the pleasure of knowing what that smells like. I think that would be it for me. I don't think I could continue living after knowing what that smells like.
Yeah, you'll just be the next person who dies in that parking lot.
Yeah. You'll just have to come get me next time. Like, here he is, and then there'll be like another dead body next to me, and like, oh yeah, that's what did him in.
Yeah. Do you remember what you wanted to talk about before I cut you off?
Yes. So, how much do you get paid?
$14.25. We just got a raise. It used to be $13.50.
So to deal with all that shit that you just fucking like told me, you get $14.25.
Yeah.
Okay, you get paid more than me now officially.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, I get paid 14, and I'm a manager at Einstein Bros. I make it to bagels. Okay, I literally just sell bagels, and I used to get paid more than you, who has to deal with fucking dead bodies and saving people's lives. Like, have you gotten like a call yet where you have been the person that saved someone's life, like a bad car accident or like something like that?
Sort of. I was working the B-Med truck one of these times, which is basically it's just a van, pretty much. It's not a full ambulance. It's just a van with some oxygen supplies and a couple bleeding supplies. That's it.
Okay.
And we go to this hospital, and it was just supposed to be a psych transport. We were going to take her from like
Okay.
And we get there, we get the nurse's report. She says that this person was in here 2 days ago because they fell and they bumped their head and hurt their arm. We did a CAT scan, found nothing wrong. We discharged them. They came back again today, complaining of SI, which is suicidal ideation. So they want to kill themselves.
Okay.
And they found cocaine in their system. And we were like, okay, let's go introduce ourselves. We go in, we're like, hey, we're your ride today. Let's get your stuff ready and we could get going. And immediately she's like, I'm so fucking high. Like, she's slurring her words. She kept saying that she's high and all this stuff. So we're like,
I feel like, okay, if you've ever been fucked up before on like whatever,
yeah.
do you like, are the words that ever come out of your mouth, I'm so high?
No.
Have you ever said that in your life before?
No. I don't think so.
Like that's like what? Anyway, continue.
Yeah. But like, she's slurring her words and she keeps like, she like told us to like, she's like, come here. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm so fucking high right now. Like,
dude, it sounds like she's having the time of her life.
Yeah. Like, so we're like, that's not normal.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a cocaine high.
Yeah.
That sounds
plus,
like
she should not be intoxicated for a psych transport. She should be sober for this.
Yeah.
Like, they should have had her detox.
I mean, people don't listen to medical advice.
So we go up to the nurse and we're like, what the hell? We can't really take her like this. They're not going to accept her. And the nurse is like, please take her. Like, please. Like, we need the room. And it's like, okay, I guess.
So you were taking her, like, sorry, I'm stupid as fuck. My brain doesn't work. You were taking her from the psych ward?
We were taking her from a hospital over to a mental health institute.
Okay, continue. I'm dumb.
Oh, and also in the nurse's report, she said that she was having hallucinations of her boyfriend being in the hospital with her, which he was not.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, can you stand up for us and walk to our stretcher? So she stands up and immediately, like, she like almost falls down, but like catches herself all the way to our stretcher, and we helped her there. It looked like she was doing like the stanky leg, like.
Okay.
So we help her to her stretcher, and we're like, you should probably be able to walk.
Yeah,
that's
like
weird.
Definitely not just cocaine, for sure.
Yeah. So we talked to the nurse again. She's like, please just fucking take her. Like, we need the room really bad. All the hospitals are full. That's why we're sending her to. It's like an hour trip.
Okay.
Like, and we're like, fine, we shouldn't, but okay. So we get her on the stretcher and we start wheeling her out of the ambulance, and she's like, wait, I gotta tell my boyfriend goodbye. And then she starts screaming at the top of her lungs, like, bye, I love you, I'll see you soon.
Just in the front of the hospital, like while people are walking
in the emergency room. Like,
you guys haven't even left the hospital and she's screaming?
Yeah. So we get her in the ambulance and we get like vitals on her. Her vitals are pretty normal. And like, here, let me show you. So say this is the back of the stretcher.
Yeah.
She would like be laying down like pretty much unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you talk to her, she would respond and stuff like that, but like her eyes were kind of like rolled in the back of her head for a little bit. Okay. And then she would just sit up really fast, start talking to me like how she is bouncing between normal reality and her high world, but she could tell the difference between the two. So she knew when she was in her high world and when she was in actual reality.
Okay.
And then she would just like flop back down on the stretcher, like,
Yeah, there's a reason
that.
you don't mix uppers and downers, bro.
yeah, like, yeah. So I was like, that's weird. Okay. So I just keep monitoring her vitals all the way through the trip. They start, and within like the past, like the last, I want to say like 5 to 10 minutes of the trip, I took like the little oxygen saturation probe off her finger because we're getting close to our destination. I stopped taking her blood pressure and stuff like that, so that way we could just get her up into the mental facility without having to move all of our equipment around. And when we get there, we pull her out of the ambulance, and she stopped talking to us. So we're like, that's weird. We wheel her inside, and she stopped like flopping back on the stretcher and sitting back up and stuff like that. She's just sitting kind of like this.
Okay.
And we get her inside, and they have nurses in that mental health facility, and nurses are like way above our medical practice. Like, they have more medical experience and education than us.
Okay.
So we brought them in there to like get her a little checked out just to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we would have taken her to like the closest ER just to make sure. But since it was a psych patient, we don't know if she's faking it or not.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
Because like it happens where they fake, like people will fake seizures and like it's obvious they're faking, and you just like get up.
Dude,
and like, okay.
I used to
They're
know
like,
a girl
okay.
that did that in elementary school. She would like fake seizures and we knew she was faking too. Like, it wasn't just like, we didn't give a shit because she was annoying. Like, we knew she was faking it.
Mm-hmm.
And she would piss herself too. Like, just to put the icing on the cake, like she would piss herself. We're like, come on, dude. Really?
Jeez.
I know, just some people, man. Anyway.
So we wheel her inside to the nurse, and we're like, hey, this is going on. It's really weird. We tried not to transport him, but the hospital like just wouldn't. They just kept telling us to transport, and we called her. That's another thing. We called our dispatch, and we're like, hey, should we transport? And they're like, yeah, just do it. And so I was like, yeah, we called our dispatch. They told us to transport also. Can we get her checked out real quick before we admit her? And like, okay. And I turned to her, since she's not talking to me, I put my hand on her shoulder and I'm like, hey, we're going to get you checked out, get another set of vitals and stuff like that. And her shirt is completely soaked with sweat.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, let's wrap blood pressure cuff around her. Hey, can you hear us? And like, we're doing sternum rubs because she's not responding to us.
Those fucking hurt.
Yeah. That's why we do them.
I know.
You need to see if
I know
they're
that.
actually going to respond.
They just fucking hurt.
And she starts like tensing her arms up and relaxing and then tensing them up. And because she's doing that, we can't get a good blood pressure on her.
Yeah.
And she won't, like, every time we put oxygen sat on her finger, she would throw it off. So, and she started like foaming at the mouth, not foaming, but like drooling from her mouth. And so the nursing staff is like, we can't admit her like this. And we're like, yeah, we know. We're going to take her to the ER.
Yeah, no shit, dumbass.
So, we get her in the back of the Twinkie van, the B-Med truck. And we have like these little, God, what? They're called NPAs, nasopharyngeal airway. It's
That's like the
basically
tube that goes down, right?
Yeah, it's like a little silicone tube that you just stick down their nose and into their esophagus.
No.
and it makes an airway for her because she can't maintain her own airway because she's sitting like this. She's not keeping her airway open.
Yeah.
So we lube it up with like our KY jelly, which is just like lube. Because otherwise it's going to be really hard to stick it down her nose. And like when that happens, when you stick it down their nose, if they're faking it or whatever, they're going to gag.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be uncomfortable. It's a COVID test times 10.
Yeah.
Like, so we stick it down her nose. She doesn't react whatsoever. And we're like, she's not faking it.
Yeah,
let's
like
throw her on
something's up.
Yeah. So we put her on like the oxygen non-rebreather mask, and we're like, all right, let's go lights and sirens to the closest ER. It's 5 minutes away. We'll get there before medics can show up and like check her out.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the closest hospital, and by the time that we get there, she's completely unresponsive. Like even like the sternum rub isn't getting a reaction anymore.
Fuck.
Yeah, so yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Like so we get her unloaded, we get her in the hospital room, and they immediately take her, or they shoot Narcan up her nose, which is
like smelling salts.
No, it's a drug that you give people who overdose on opiates. It knocks them out of it. It knocks them out of it like immediately.
Like not high anymore.
Yeah.
Like really? Like they're just back to normal?
Yeah, like usually like they'll wake up, they'll throw up, and then they'll be really fucking pissed because you ruined their high. Yeah, like
fuck you for saving my life. I could have been in ecstasy right now. But
yeah,
no.
The medical name for it is naloxone, but like the trade name is Narcan, so I always say Narcan.
That's like the brand name.
Yeah.
Like how everything is just Tylenol or fucking aspirin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they shoot her up with Narcan, and Narcan only lasts like 15 minutes before you have to re-administer, or else they go back into overdose.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't cure their high because it only like absorbs their high, but once, because the half-life of Narcan is shorter than like whatever drug they're taking usually.
This is some crazy shit.
Yeah. So we wheel her in, they give her Narcan, and then they immediately go take her up to get a CT scan, because it could have been a stroke. It's not like typically the right.
I mean, if there's like a possibility they're stroking out, like check
it's
for
a possibility, but it's not like the most like this signs and symptoms aren't exactly the same of what a typical stroke patient is, but we still performed like a Cincinnati strokes scale on her when we were at the
what the fuck is that?
So basically you have them like grab your fingers to test their motor skills. You test for arm drift, so you tell them to close their eyes, hold their arms out like this, and if one starts drifting down without them noticing, they're having a stroke, or they have like facial droop. Yeah. So we did that test at the behavioral site too, and we told the hospital that, so they took her up to get a CT scan or a CAT scan or whatever. I don't know all the scans. But just do a scan to see if she's having a stroke. But we later found out, like a week later, that she had a balloon up her that the hospital didn't know about that was filled with cocaine, and it burst on the ride.
Like up her. Okay.
So it burst on the ride, and she went into like Uber overdose.
Yeah, I wonder fucking why.
Yeah, that was a fun report. Like it took me like almost 2 hours to write that report.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack. Jesus.
Like a usual psych transport, that report takes me like 20 minutes.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
really wanna complain about my job anymore.
Yeah.
Knowing you gotta deal with that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to some first world problems. How about that, Casey?
All right. Have you ever shaven your legs before?
See, okay. I haven't shaved my legs, but I shaved like, okay, I'm gonna stand up for this one. So, right here, all right, I shaved all this off. I looked like a giant powdered donut. I vowed I'm never shaving my tummy again. But
Dude,
other than that, it's been like, I just let that shit grow. I mean, I shaved my balls, but like,
yeah.
every normal man does. Dude, CJ, which you guys will meet CJ later because he's also a co-star on the podcast. But CJ gave me so much shit for shaving my balls. Like,
What?
yeah, he was just like, dude, that's just so much work. Like, who the fuck wants to shave their balls? I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck wants to play with hairy balls? Like
I admit I don't shave them as much as I should.
I'm not shaving it for me. I mean, I kind of am because it makes, like, in all honesty,
it does feel good.
It's minty.
Like smooth balls do feel good.
But he like gave me so much shit, and then this is what he does. Okay, I'll bring him on to some like fucking big brain shit, right? Like I'll be like, dude, this, and he'll be like, dude, that's fucking lame, or like he'll just give me shit about it, and then he'll like try it, and then he'll be like, dude, it's like the best thing ever. Like, no shit. I wouldn't be telling you to do it if it wasn't like fucking, like, who doesn't shave their balls?
Yeah. Like I admit I don't do it as much as I should. Like I probably should do it like today.
Dude, it's every time I shower.
Really?
Yeah, every time I shower.
Do you use a electric
or straight razor?
See, I'm scared to do that.
See, it scared me at first, but now I don't even look. I'm just like, you know, like it's definitely like jarring at first because you're like, razor right next to like the most important thing on my body. But no, it's like fucking electric razors, even with like face shaving, like, or shaving anything, it doesn't get close enough.
Yeah, like once I started this ENT job, I started using like a normal razor instead of electric razor for my face, but I like it.
I just buy like the cheapest fucking razors at Walmart. Like, you get like a pack of 20 of them for like $5. It lasts you forever.
I need to start using a straight razor for my balls.
What were we talking about before balls?
Have you shaven your legs?
Okay, no, I have not shaved my legs.
Okay. But yeah, I'm normally hairy. Like, you can see hair on my chest and shit like that. But like, I was at my girl's last night and she shaved my legs for the first time ever. And
well, whip them out.
It's only up to the knee, so it's gonna look real fucking
weird. Yeah, but go ahead. They're
so goddamn smooth. Like I'll have you touch them here in a bit. Like,
dude,
here.
Okay, I used to go to school with a guy who was on the swim team, and before he would go to like the races,
look at this shit. Look how smooth that is compared to like my thighs.
You're way too pale for that.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine that, but like on my tummy.
Here,
it's literally like a powdered donut. He said, "Hold on." I used to know a swimmer. He's coming in here. What? Open. What? Just go back in your room. I'm not. Oh my god. Feel my legs. Oh my. No. No. That's what my girlfriend's legs feel like, dude. But like more meaty. I used to put your headset back on. I used to know a swimmer in high school, and before a swim meet, like, he was fucking bald everywhere. Literally everywhere. Arms, armpits, legs, like
straight up egg.
yeah. He looked like a fucking toothpick.
Okay.
So I know about the shave. It's not. I'm never shaving my legs. Colton fucking burnt the hair off my leg one time with a fucking like lighter and hairspray. That's the closest I've been to shaving my legs.
Dude, it's so weird. Like, my legs are fucking cold all the time. Like,
Yeah.
just below the knee. Just below the knee, too. Like,
I wonder why.
yeah, it's weird.
So, are you gonna shave your legs from now on then?
No. I like my legs being warm. I am going to start shaving my balls with straight razors, though.
Dude, it's the best. It's literally the best.
What's the worst injury you've ever had?
Okay. Okay. So, this one's a doozy. So right here, you can see the scar, right? On my hand right here.
Yep.
So, this is what is known as a boxing fracture. It's the bone behind your knuckle right here. Look at the camera, jackass.
All right, man. I was looking at the topics I've written down.
So, knuckle. It is the bone that connects your knuckle to your wrist. Okay? Normally, on normal people, which I am not apparently, a boxing fracture happens with your pinky because when you punch, like, and you miss with the pinky, it breaks this bone. Mine is behind my ring finger. Now, to set this one up, we're going to have to go back to the before 4 times. Okay? So my mom, my parents, they were both Mormon. Okay? Me and CJ, because CJ's my brother, we grew up Mormon. Go to church every Sunday, go on a mission, you know, the whole 9 yards. So, for those of you who don't have the privilege of living in a predominantly Mormon state, missions are like a huge thing. Mission, like, you definitely know about Mormon missionaries. They're way too friendly, and it's almost off-putting.
Yeah.
Like, you know when a salesman is like being way too friendly trying to sell you something? It's like that, except what they're selling is Jesus. Anyway, so my mom signed me and CJ up. Like, there was this, like, not like a camp, but it was like a little getaway, right?
Okay.
And it was supposed to prepare you for your mission, which I was very vocal about not wanting to go on a mission because I wanted out. But being that I was like, I don't know, 15, 16, I was 16. Like, I didn't have much of a choice. So I was like, okay. Like, I was fighting my mom about it. I didn't want to go. But I was like, okay, all of my friends are like, their parents are making them go. Like, all my friends are going to be there. It's going to be fine. It was on, like, the U of U campus. Like, we were just going to go up there and chill, you know?
Yep.
I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. Just let me bring my phone. Because they said no phones, but everyone was going to bring their phone anyway. Because, you know, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
My mom did not want to hear any of it and was like, you are leaving your phone here. So I was like, fine, I'm going to just sneak my phone anyway. Because apparently I don't listen to instructions very well.
Yeah.
So the morning comes. We had to leave at like between 6 to 8. It was really early. Like, I don't wake up that early. But it's like 6 to 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't want to go CJ doesn't want to go. Like, I'm just in a really bad mood, obviously. I put my phone in my pocket. Like, I think I'm sly as fuck. And the last thing my mom says before I leave is, "Give me your phone." I get really butthurt. I admit I was a really angry kid and a really violent kid. Like, I would punch fucking everything, right? Not like my mom. I don't punch my mom. But like inanimate objects like walls, there was a lot of holes in my wall as a kid. Like, we used to play League of Legends. There was a lot of holes in my wall. But I get, like, we're at the top of the stairs, like right outside my room. I'm fucking like just really upset. Like, the phone was like, I was like, I'll go. I won't make a big deal about it unless like I can take my phone, right? And I get really fucking frustrated, and I turn around and I punch the first thing that's like right. Like, I just turn around and like punch, right? And lo and behold, what my fist came in contact to, like, let's say this right here, my fist hits it like this, right? With my ring finger. And it is my door frame. And if you've never, experimented with a door frame, those things don't move. And like, I've been this big like since I was in like middle school, so like I was already like a big fucking dude. I could punch right through a fucking wall if I wanted to. That
you're like what, 6'3",
6'4",
6'4", 290 something.
Let's go with 290. But like, I punched the door frame, and it is probably the worst pain I've had to deal with ever. Like, my hand hurts so, like, I mean, when the adrenaline wore off, obviously, because I just broke a bone, and if you've broken a bone before, it's a slow creeping pain. And so when the adrenaline wore off, my hand hurt so fucking bad. I was like, "Mom, I just broke my hand. I can't go." And she was like, sure. Because I wasn't the most honest kid. I would make up whatever I needed to get out of whatever I wanted, right? I was pretty good at lying. So she was like, yeah, bullshit, get in the car. So I get in the car, and we're going, and on the way there, I look at my hand, and this fucking knuckle is missing. Like, there was like a fucking curve right here where my knuckle should have been. I was like, something's wrong. like, I mean, my hands are fat as fuck, but like, you can tell there's a knuckle there on a good day. Yeah. And it was missing. So all of my friends were like, "What the fuck happened?" And I told them, and they're like, "That's weird. You fucking, like, just lost your knuckle, I guess. You're going to be like the 9-knuckle motherfucker from now on." And we get to the camp, and like, we're sitting in like the big hall, and everyone's like singing hymns and shit. And I'm just like holding my hand, and I'm like, I want to go home. And I found out that, like, when you pull it to pop it, I was like, that seems to help. So I kept pulling on it, and I was like, it makes it feel so much better. And then I'd let it go, and it would just get set back into my fucking, like, it was fucked. And so I told somebody, I was like, "Hey, my knuckle's missing." And they were like, "Okay." And so they got like, they got like one of the older dudes, not medically trained at all, by the way. And he like takes a look at my hand, and he's like, "Something's wrong." And I was like, "No shit." And he like put ice on it and like called my mom. And they're like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure your son's hand's broken." And she's like, "Ha, very funny." And they're like, "No, your son's hand's broken. You need to come get him." And my mom comes and gets me, and the first look I give her is like a, like a, "Oh, my hand's not broken, huh?" And so she takes me to the hospital, and they're giving me x-rays, and the nurse looks at my mom and it's like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, yeah, Mom, what happened? Like, I was giving her so much fucking shit. Like, it was okay. I lied. That day, she didn't come get me. I was there for like 2 or 3 days with a broken hand. 2 or 3 days with a broken hand. And I was giving her so much shit, to the nurse, to the doctor, like to fucking everybody. I was like, fuck you, which I feel really bad for now. Like I was a cunt. But like in the moment, I'm just like, fuck you. Like, I told you my hand was broken and you didn't believe me, which was my fault because I told so many lies. But yeah, for like, it was like the summer between sophomore and junior year, I had like this little fucking thing on. I couldn't work, so I would just stay at home and play League all day. But that's like the only injury I've ever had.
See, me and Colton, we used to get injured so much that we had to switch hospitals because they suspected my mom of child abuse.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
dude, I'm surprised my mom didn't get like caught up with that with CJ, because that motherfucker breaks everything.
There was one time Colton, he got hurt somehow. I don't remember what injury it was.
Was it when he fucking broke his kneecap? Because I remember that one.
It might have been, but they took him to the hospital, and the nurse goes up to Colton and is like, so what happened? And my mom starts explaining, and the nurse goes, no, I want to hear it from him. And they made her leave the room.
Okay, I have a story after that.
Okay, go ahead.
No, keep going. After
that's just what I wanted to say. They expected my mom of child abuse, so we had to switch hospitals.
Okay. So when I broke my hand and I got put under, like, my mom told the doctor, hey, my family is allergic to like the painkiller that you give in the anesthesia, so please be careful. And so I'm getting wheeled in, and they're like, okay, I'm going to administer the anesthesia now. And I remember getting wheeled to the OR, and holy fuck, my body felt like it was made of fucking like marshmallow fluff. Like, I was fucking like, I was like, holy shit. And I just remember slowly drifting off. And then the next thing I remember is like, I'm slowly coming out of like the dream state, and I like, for some fucking reason, I just start saying the most fucked up shit to the nurse that is like waking me up. Like, I was like, are my parents dead yet? And like, can I kill my parents? Like, it was fucked. I'm pretty sure like I had an allergic reaction to the painkiller. And I was like, can I kill all the Mormons? I remember that one specifically because the nurse could not stop laughing at it. But one of the nurses was like, that's a fucked up kid. And so they had to have a social worker.
Oh.
I'm not fucking with you. They had a social worker come to the like post-op room, and because my mom is shorter than me and I'm like a big fucking kid, they were like, she is gonna get fucking hurt. And so they had the social worker come in, and the social worker's talking to me and my mom, and I'm still fucked off the painkillers. So I'm like, and they were like, you're not gonna go home with your parents. And I was like, what? And so I start crying, and I'm like, I didn't mean it. I don't know. And like, then, because I don't know if you've seen my dad, but my dad's Polynesian, so he's like a fucking big dude. And so my dad walks in, the social worker turns around and is like, hi, and they like find out that that's my dad, and she fucks off. She's like, oh yeah, he's fine. And they like, yeah, that's the time I almost didn't go home with my parents. Like, dude, I said some fucked up shit to that nurse. I'm pretty sure that wasn't all I said, but those were the three I remember.
Wow.
Yeah, like. Okay, what's the most fucked up injury you've had?
I've had a couple. So I got a few stories. I have one where I had really bad road rash.
From what?
The Alpine slide in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
I don't know where that is.
It's like Yellowstone, pretty much.
Is it like a water slide?
No.
It's just a normal slide?
It's a cement slide with like sleds that have wheels on them.
Walk me through that. What the fuck happened there?
All right. So I'll tell you this story, and we could tell the other stories like next podcast or something, because I have quite a few injury stories.
Okay, we'll come back to this, but
all right.
Concrete slide. Where the fuck? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
So look up Alpine slide, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. But yeah, it's just like a big slide that goes down a mountain. It goes down this whole mountain, and it's just a cement, like a half a cement tube, and you're sitting on a sled with like a stick in the middle that controls the brakes, and there's wheels on the bottom of the sled.
Dude, why won't it fucking... I'm trying to show on the screen. It's like the...
Screen share.
Hold on, does this work? No. Why would it work? Okay, anyway, I'll throw up like a fucking image of it on the screen.
All right. So it was me, my brother Colton, and my oldest brother Cameron. And his girlfriend came with us too, but she got sick and stayed in the car. So we go there. I'm wearing like kind of what I'm wearing now, like baggy basketball shorts, a t-shirt, and like probably a hat. And I have like my phone, my wallet, my keys. They're in my pockets. And again, it's baggy shorts, so I don't want any of this shit to fall out of my pockets.
I mean, that's what I wear. I wear that shit everywhere.
Yeah, but you're going like 60 miles per hour down this fucking slide.
Yeah, I mean, I've worn basketball shorts to like fucking amusement parks and shit.
Yeah, but so we go up to the mountain. You have to take like a ski lift up to the mountain. And we get there, and it's like they treat it like a water slide, where like they just see how far down the slide you are, and they're like, go, and then they send the next person.
Okay.
So I'm last in line out of my brothers, and they go, and I'm going, or they go, and then I go, and I'm going down pretty slow because I don't want the shit to fall out of my pockets.
Yeah.
And so
does it have brakes on it?
It's got like a stick in the middle of the sled that you could pull on that has brakes, but other than that, not really.
Okay.
So I go down, everything goes on without a hitch, and I'm like, okay, I could go faster next time. Like this stuff won't go down or won't fly out of my pockets. So we go back up the ski lift. Same order. My oldest brother goes, Colton goes, and then I go.
Okay.
And they have this part on the slide where it's like 4 sharp turns in a row.
Yeah.
And I make 3 of those turns.
Okay.
On the 4th turn, my sled tips. And so we're going like 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And it's like a smooth type cement, kind of like sidewalk.
That's not smooth, buddy.
Well, like smoother than like
newly laid asphalt.
Yeah, like it was fairly smooth cement. It was smoother than a sidewalk then.
Okay.
But so now I don't have a sled, and I'm still going 60 miles per hour. And so I'm going down, t-shirt, basketball shorts going on my elbows and my knees.
Oh my God.
And like a little bit of like my wrist too. And I finally come to the stop, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucked up. And Then I'm like, wait a minute. This is like a water slide. They're just going to send the next person down because I'm fairly like I'm I'm fairly far down the mountain. He can't see me at the top. So like I grab my sled and I jump off the side of the slide and onto like just the mountainside. And like I face planted on the side of the mountain. Like
I mean, it's better that than getting like fucking
ran over.
Yeah.
Like
just keel hauled by a fucking guy.
Yeah. So I realize like after I face planted on the mountain, I look up there, no one's coming down. Like there's no one in line, there's nothing. So I get back in the slide, I get on my sled and I start going down at like 5 miles per hour. Like I'm fucking hurt. Like and my brothers, they went first. So they're waiting for me at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like so I'm like creeping down the mountain and they're staring at me and all I see is them going like
like you fucking idiot.
Yeah. So I get down to the bottom and they're like, why'd you go so slow? And they're like, you fell, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucked up. And they're like, all right, let's see. And the skin on both of my elbows and both of my knees were scraped off.
Oh my God.
Like it wasn't down to where like you could see the muscle or anything, but like, or the bone or whatever, but like quite a few layers of skin were ripped off. And then like a little bit of skin like right here.
Oh.
So immediately when I said yeah I fell, they bust out laughing. Like,
I mean,
of fucking course you fell off.
Yeah.
The one person who would fall off fell off. Like
I don't know if I was a gambling man, Colton would be the one that I would bet on.
That's fair.
Dude, that's what I've always thought about. Like if I was, because I've always wanted a motorcycle.
Ooh.
But like, if for some reason I had to bail going that fucking fast, I've always wondered where the best area to basically like fucking cheese grater down the highway would be.
Well, you always, when you're on a motorcycle, wear long sleeves. Long sleeve pants, long sleeve shirt.
I mean, yeah.
A jacket, something that will be a good barrier between the asphalt and your skin. So jeans and a leather jacket.
But let's say I'm in basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
You're getting fucked up. There's nowhere you can
like,
go.
I'm saying, like, what part of my body would be the best, like, do I just fucking penguin slide down the highway with my big ass belly?
I would say just try and roll, bro. Just roll. That, or just like try and stay on one side of your body.
Ugh. That's so, dude, I swear, like, rug burn has to be the most painful fucking, like.
Well, have you ever been like running or something and you fall and skid your knee?
Yeah, like I'm saying,
that
has to be the most painful injury. Like, save like breaking your fucking tibia, you know.
But yeah, so we're like, all right, I'm fucked up. Let's go back to camp because we were vacationing at Yellowstone and we went to Jackson Hole for that slide.
Where's Yellowstone at?
It's like right next. It's like a 30-minute drive. It's like,
is it in Wyoming?
It's like in between Wyoming, Nevada, and some other state.
Okay.
Like
wait, Wyoming and Nevada. It's like two opposite sides.
Well, Yellowstone's massive, bro.
Okay.
But we get in the car and my oldest brother's sister is in the car. She saw none of this. And Like, they get inside the car and they're laughing. She's like, what? And I get inside the car and she's like, I fucking knew this would happen, you assholes. Like,
Yeah, she's like concerned, and then you and Colton and Cameron are just fucking dying.
yeah. Well, no, I was hurt. I thought it wasn't funny. Like,
I
it
know.
was not funny to me, but
They
it was funny
did.
to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's having a brother.
Yeah.
Like,
So, like
if
my
you're
brother's
moving,
girl-
if you're moving and talking, you're fine.
yeah. Like she's like, you assholes, I knew you would find a way to hurt him and stuff like that. And
Yeah, that too. Get like the oldest getting blamed for it too.
yeah. So like it's like an hour or two ride back to our campsite. And so we didn't have any water or anything to wash out my wounds or anything like that. So I'm just like sitting in the car bleeding.
That shit's just fucking festering back there.
And like every like 5 minutes, my oldest brother was driving, and all I would see is this, just like just turn around, take a look at me, and then start laughing again, like trying to hide it.
That's
like,
having a younger brother for sure.
Yeah. So we get back to the campsite, and we show my mom, and she's pissed. like whenever me and my brothers are around, I always get hurt.
I mean, yeah.
Someone's
got to be the one.
I always get hurt.
Yeah, that's CJ for sure.
So we get it like all bandaged up and like cleaned and all this shit, and I was fucking stupid enough after all my shit was bandaged. I was like, I want to go to the hot tub. Like so
yeah, you're
like
a
I'm
fucking
just, like,
dumbass.
Yeah, I'm like soaking my feet, and like eventually I like sink in just a little bit to where like it's past my wounds, and I'm only in there for like 10-20 minutes with it past my wounds. That wasn't a good idea.
No shit.
Yeah. So eventually the time comes around where it's time to go home. We live in Utah.
Yeah.
Yellowstone is like a 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
We stopped like every hour to get out and pee and stuff like that. Every time I would get out or into the car, the scabs on my wounds would break open. And it hurt so bad. Like, it was terrible. Like, you could feel like the scab in the skin tearing open.
Ugh.
It hurt so fucking bad. And I got out every single pit stop, and I don't know why. Like,
hey man,
I should have just stayed in the car.
You gotta learn somehow.
Yeah, I had scars on my elbows and my knees for years, but I think they finally faded.
I swear all your stories today have just been fucking like
Bangers.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, CJ used to fucking like, we had this hill that we used to like ride our bikes down. It wasn't like super steep, but like we would haul ass down it for some reason. You know, you're a kid, you want to go fast, you know?
Yeah.
And there was like a cul-de-sac that we lived across, and whatever dumbass poured the cement for like the gutters right there made it like the perfect to like jump over shit on your bike. So we would do that. We would just like go down fast as fuck, jump over shit, you know, typical kid stuff. Well, one time, CJ's like fucking pedaling hard as fuck down a hill, and the chain snaps, and he goes head over the handlebars and just fucking skids down the fucking hill.
Oh.
And I'm like, that was funny as shit, but how are you doing? And he gets up like nothing fucking happened. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And I look at his shoulder, and his shoulder has like a chunk fucking missing.
Oh.
And I'm like, you are not okay. So I took him inside, and like he's like looking at it in the mirror. He's like, dude. Like, just no fucking pain at all until my mom found out. And she drags his ass into the shower and just pours like half a bottle of hydrogen peroxide on it. He is fucking screaming. Like it sounds like a fucking murder scene, like a snuff film. And before that, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like a chunk of fucking shoulder missing.
We should have him tell this story next time.
Dude,
like his perspective.
He has plenty of him like fucking up himself on a bike stories.
Okay.
Like remind me to tell him about the injury where he fucking took his cast off.
Oh.
That one's a banger. Okay. Anyway, past the fucking grotesque shit for a minute. I love how I was like, I don't know. It always leads back into you telling something that just makes me like,
I like grotesque shit. I don't know. I'm always getting hurt or like having to deal with it with my job.
Okay. Question for you. If you could travel back in time to talk to yourself, like let's say middle school, what would you tell yourself?
Stop eating, you fat fuck.
Okay. I feel like that one's a given.
Yeah.
Here, I'll tell mine, and then you can
okay.
think about yours. For me, I would tell myself to both stream, like back when it was early as fuck, and to go pro in Counter-Strike. Because, like, I'm not the best Counter-Strike player, but, like, when I was in my fucking prime, like, when I was grinding Counter-Strike, like, I was pretty fucking good. And I feel like if I worked at it more, I could have at the very least joined, like, you know, a shitty pro team. Yeah. And, like, worked my way up. But no one else wanted to play, and I didn't want to play with randoms, so... Like, Colton wanted to go pro. We could have made it, dude. We could have been like on ESL fucking Katowice, the big leagues.
And I didn't have a PC when you guys were playing CS:GO all that much.
Would you say Counter-Strike's your favorite game of all time? Not like single player. I'm not counting
favorite
single
multiplayer game. Yeah, favorite multiplayer.
I'd say it's like a cross-up between Counter-Strike and Rocket League. Those are the two games I'm always like, not always down to play, but like I always go back to.
See, I'm always down for a game of CS. I will never turn down a game of CS unless I'm like busy or something like that.
You know what? Maybe after the podcast we'll play some Counter-Strike.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's what I would tell my old self. Stream because you know. But yeah. Pro and Counter-Strike because I feel like that was the only thing I was like the only game I was decent at. Or like just I would tell myself to like start playing it like early. Like Rocket League like in the beta. Or like Counter-Strike before Global Offensive came out.
Yeah, I never played Source. I only played Global Offensive.
I didn't either. I didn't even know what Counter-Strike was before Global Offensive came out. And even after it did, I was like, what the fuck's Counter-Strike? That game looks dumb. And then I played it and I was like, this game's fucking awesome.
See, before I got a PC, I was always like on PlayStation, stuff like that, and I always wanted to play Counter-Strike. So when I got my PC, that was the first thing I installed on Steam.
That was the game that brought you from console to PC?
Mm-hmm.
Mine, and this is going to sound stupid, but like I used to play Halo and fucking Modern Warfare on my Xbox because all of us had Xboxes. Colton was the only one that didn't have an Xbox. But
well, he bought one, but he sold it within like 2 months.
He sold it to me. I was the one that bought his Xbox. So fucking when I would play like Halo and fucking Call of Duty like all the time. Like we'd always have like 10 people in the Halo custom games like all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It's just super fun. But the game that brought me to like PC was Team Fortress 2. And like Left 4 Dead. Cause my PC was shitty as fuck. And World of Warcraft, but you know, that one's like,
well, Left 4 Dead is on Xbox.
I didn't have it on Xbox. I had it on Steam.
Okay.
Cause I had a PC, cause I would play World of Warcraft with my dad, but like I was too young and dumb to even know how to play that game. And I would play like Team Fortress 2 and Minecraft with my homies. Dude, we started a fucking YouTube channel and it is the most cringe shit. I still have it. I'm never ever saying the name of it ever. Maybe if like maybe I'll do it for like a subscriber special. I'll pull up the fucking old videos, but like no one's ever fucking known about that shit. But that's what got me into PC gaming, was that we all had PCs and we all wanted to start a YouTube channel, which has always been like not like a dream of mine, but like I'm like it'd be pretty cool if I had a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I feel like everyone would feel the same too. Like you love gaming, you like to entertain people, you're funny. Why not do that for a living?
Stop jerking me off. I'm gonna come. But anyway, that's what I feel like. That's what my calling in life is entertaining people. Cause like, I don't know. That's when I'm the happiest, is when I'm making people laugh. Like making all you dumbasses laugh around a campfire or in fucking Jackbox games. That's when I'm the happiest.
Me too. Like when you're around the boys and the people that you love, it's
doesn't even have to be people I love. I just like making people laugh.
Yeah.
You don't got to go all heartfelt on me, Casey. It's not that deep.
See, the thing that I would tell myself, my younger self, I feel like the typical answer is like invest in Bitcoin, because that was when it's like when it started getting kind of like cryptocurrency started, I guess.
Yeah, dude, I thought like all that Bitcoin shit when it first came out, I thought it was the dumbest fucking idea. I still kind of think it's I still think it's a dumb idea, but it's fucking some people fuck it, dude. Okay, I saw this like picture. Let me see if I can find it. But like it was like an old StarCraft tournament. And like the top prize was like $200, and then like it went to like 100, and then all the way at the very bottom I found it. Okay, so I'm gonna send this to you. I'll put it up on the screen. But it was like an old StarCraft like tournament. I already said this, but I'm gonna say it again. Old StarCraft tournament. First prize was $500. Second prize was $250, then $150, then $100, and then 5th to 8th place got 25 Bitcoins.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the 5th to 8th place.
Jeez.
Imagine, like, still having that. Like, you just forgot about it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I would shit myself. For sure. Shit would definitely load my pants if I found out that. Like, 25.
Well,
each Bitcoin is worth, like, fucking 30 grand plus now.
Yeah. Well, dude, when I sent you money for this last billing thing, I found $75 in my Venmo. I can't even tell you how happy I was.
Dude, I found out, like, I looked at my PayPal one time from, like, my old streams, and I had, like, $100 in there one time. Back when I was unemployed, I was like, fuck yes. But, like, 25 fucking Bitcoins?
Dude.
That's, like, Jeff Bezos worth right there. Dude, did you see the fucking rocket that Bezos went into space in?
I haven't seen the rocket.
Dude, look it up. Look it up right now. That fucking rocket looks like a dick. I don't even know what he went to space for, but, like, that rocket looks like a fucking dick. Like there's no hiding it. That's a dick.
Yeah, that's a straight up dick.
Like, imagine having to justify that. Like, who built that and was like, here's the rocket for you, Mr. Bezos. Like, he has more money than, like, this country would make in, like, a year.
Yeah.
The whole country. And he fucking... And that's what he lands on? He could build, like... He could build a rocket, like, pay for another rocket in fucking cash.
Yeah.
And that's what he decides to go up in. That shit is fucking hilarious.
But yeah, I feel like the typical answer would be like invest in crypto. But like what I truly think I would say is like just stop thinking too much. Like, dude, I used to overthink everything as a kid. Like growing up as a teenager too. Like I was so fucking stressed out and depressed and stuff like that. Like,
see, I was the opposite.
Ugh.
Like I would underthink everything.
No, dude, I overthink everything.
Like my my leg could have got cut off, and I'm like, guess I have one leg now. That changed, by the way.
Mine would have been like, all right, I can't do this because it could lead to that, and that will lead to this, and that will lead to this, and that will lead to my leg getting cut off.
Dude, it blows my mind that people think like that. Because growing up, like, I was just like, I mean, am I in danger currently? Like, is it going to lead to me dying? No? Okay, then why care? Which is a shit philosophy to have. Like, fucking school, like, I was like, I would ace every fucking test, but I could not be bothered enough to do, like, any of the homework or any of the fucking, like, I was like, I know this shit. Why care? Mm-hmm. And then, like...
See, that's how I wish I was.
It's not a fun philosophy to have, bro. Like, I wish I could, like, care more about shit. It's changed now that I have, like, therapy and fucking antidepressants, but, like, I did not give a shit about most things.
I should probably go to therapy. I get it for free with my work, but...
That's, dude, I promise you, like, I used to shit on therapy so much, but it is so fucking good.
Well, for me, it's more like I'm already so busy as it is. I can't be bothered with it right now. Like, I'm in a good mental state right now, but, like...
See, that's what I thought. Before I had that fucking, like, huge mental breakdown, like, 2 months ago. Yeah, I thought I was chilling, too. But nah, therapy's good. Therapy's fucking dope. I love therapy. I will I will like scream it at the top of my lungs. Therapy is so fucking awesome. Antidepressants, not as much. They make me super sick in the morning, but I mean, it helps. I care about things now that I didn't used to.
Good.
I think that okay, it would be like Counter-Strike, fucking streaming, and it would be like go to a therapist. Cause like growing up, I had the hardest time like just feeling anything. That like all I felt was like, not today. Or like I just was numb. However, now that I have been like talking to a therapist, I get so anxious about shit. Anxiety is the worst. I was what the fuck's anxiety? Who the fuck like who overthinks? Like that shit's dumb. And then now I'm just like
fuck. Like,
yeah. I mean karma's a bitch, man.
Alright. Should we wrap this up? It's been going for like an hour and a half.
I think that's a good note to wrap on. Go to therapy, kids. If you fucking mental health's important. Also, fucking I don't know. Jeff Bezos' rocket looks like a dick. All right, we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Right. That's the two things to take home.
Mental health and Jeff Bezos' dick rocket. First,
and Jeff Bezos has a rocket that looks like a dick.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.